Okay, I want to make a setup so I can film stuff that I'm looking at and leave my hands free. So here's my current setup. It's a tripod. And I just created a piece of wood that works for my phone. I have a piece of metal on the back of my phone case so that it can attach to my magnetic holder in my car that goes to my cigarette lighter, and then with Bluetooth, and then it broadcasts to a specified FM radio station so I can listen to podcasts from my phone on my car stereo. So it has a piece of metal on the back. I'll show you. But anyway, so I screwed a washer-shaped neodymium magnet, neodymium, hard to say, there, so that the phone just attaches to that, but it's pretty strong, but you know, it could fall. So I added a piece of Velcro that goes around it. I'll show you the piece of metal on my phone. So it's just that round thing. Lighting's not very good, but anyways, so that attaches to the magnet and it's held in extra secure with the Velcro. Okay, so now what I'm going to want to do is attach it to a hard hat, and then I can just carry it around basically. Tripods have a 1/4-20 nut on the top of their little camera base holder, so you know that's most common bolt size in America, so makes things pretty easy. So that's what I'll use to attach it to the hard hat. You can see here right now I just got a normal 1/4-20 nut on here holding down this thing. Just has a piece of bent metal and some screws and some plywood that happen to be painted red. It's no big deal. Okay, normally I'd use the tripod to hold the camera and I'd have two hands, but I can't use the holder because there it is. Actually, that's not true. I could have kept it going. Anyways, I took it off and now I can't use it. So, use one of these Bessey clamps, which if you don't have one, get one. They're awesome. So I'm thinking I'll just put it on the brim. Okay, here's the part that I couldn't leave it on the tripod for. I'm just going to use a 1/4-20 bolt where the threading goes all the way up the shaft, short one. Okay, it's kind of hard to get this bolt in there. It turns out the hole I drilled is like just the right size for the bolt to thread through, which wasn't my intention, but actually that'll be good. The bolt will just stay there now. Okay, now we'll put the holder on there. I really need to get this thing finished so that I can film things like this. Okay, that's going to be pointing probably a little bit too much towards the ground, so I can just bend the metal, or I can wear it farther back on my head. I guess I'll have to just try it a few different ways and see how it works. Alright, we're going to try it out. You have to take the hat off to start and stop your video, and I don't edit my videos very much, so I guess when I use it, Right now I'm not wearing it. When I use it, the first thing you'll see is this. Feels a little awkward, but it is working. Hard hats have a tightener. You can make sure it's tight on your head. Let's go look at current project here. I just removed the bark from this incense cedar log. Produced a lot of bark. So I started a fire to burn it. Figure I'll burn the leaves and a few other things that are close to it while I'm at it. Alright. Hopefully this video is pointing at what I'm looking at. It may be pointing towards the sky or pointing at my belly. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so that worked decently well. But I don't want the holder protruding so far from the brim of the hat. I like the placement of the 1/4 20 nut there, so I'm going to keep that. And basically what I want to replicate is just this top part of the holder and the base, but not have this large protrusion. So I'm going to cut a piece of plywood right about there, and then I can use, here's this Velcro strip that has the 2 sides of the Velcro on either side of it, so you always have both. And then here's some of these neodymium magnets, pretty strong, and they're countersunk, so you can screw them to things, and then the screw doesn't protrude. And finally, I'm going to use this piece of metal that's used in construction for 2x4s. Has a hole that's should be good for the 1/4 20 nut and bolt, and then some other holes that can be used for the screws to the wood. And basically I just want, since I'm replicating this part, I just want a part of the wood that's about that big. Okay, we'll make this smaller version here. Got some little wood screws that are probably can't see it, but they're #1 square drives for some reason. Robertson head is another way of saying it. It's a kind of thing popular in Canada. I'm watching some videos where people talk about Phillips versus Robertson. And it wrong shape, so it sticks up above the magnet. Shoot. Okay, we're gonna have to have a, whatever that's called, a countersunk Phillips here. It's gonna protrude a little bit from the back because it's too long, but it is what it is. So now you can see that the magnet doesn't have the screw protruding and messing things up. And I want to try these little Robertsons. So Robertsons are good because they stay on there. Sometimes Phillips will stay on there, but not always. That's what goes around the phone and holds it in. And here's the bracket. Magnet has to be on the left for the bracket, so I guess that's the right way. And those things really stick in there. These little square drive Robertson screws. One more reason, or possibly the only reason, that Canada is better than America. Oh, and the neodymium magnet broke. They are very fragile. Let's do that. Put another one in there, I guess. Because I think I let it pull itself against the metal table, or maybe the screw hit it from behind. They break easy. So put another one in here. There we go. Okay, and then this goes on the hard hat. And when I find my nut, that's where it goes, and probably have to bend it a little bit to get it just right. Okay, this is kind of difficult because I don't have the example to look at while I'm making this thing because it's holding the camera. But anyways, I did this backwards. But this magnet has to be on the back side so that the camera will be facing forward the correct direction. We do want the magnet on the left, I believe. Comparing it to the one that's holding the camera right now. Yes, that looks right. So now what it is, we want it like this. Okay. That probably is not going to work good. Let's see. I guess that's why I had a piece of wood that went like this previously. Oh, we can get one screw in there. I'll be right about there, I guess. I mean, that's plenty strong for now. There, the camera, it goes in that way with the phone goes in that way with the camera facing right there, right to the left of this guy. So I think that'll work. Okay, I don't know if this is third time's a charm or fourth time's a charm, but I think I do need to have somewhat of an L shape to get it enough to get the phone off the brim of the hard hat. So I'm going to do this different piece of wood here. Probably just put it all together and show you the result if it works. Every time I do it, I find out, oh, it's too close to this, or it's too far from that. So we're getting better. Closer. Okay, I think this is going to work. Camera will see what I see. Okay, this is looking a lot better. I don't really know a way of the camera. There we go. It's like, how does the camera see itself? But anyways, that's how it's looking. Alright, gotta try out this camera here. I gotta figure out exactly how to angle it. So right now I'm looking at this log. Looking at the fire. Looking at that log. See if I have to go up or down. Okay, it seemed like I needed to go a tiny bit up and a little bit to the right to center this stuff. So I'm going to put the hat on and see what we get now after I made those adjustments. So right now I'm looking at this log. And I'm looking at the fire. And then I'm looking at the butt end of that log. See how that does.